Hey, what's going on everybody? It's your bro, hope you're doing well. In this video I'm going to explain the static keyword in JavaScript, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Well, it looks like we're on the static keyword today. The static keyword can be applied to a method or property, and that method or property will belong to a class, and not any one object created from said class. So with static methods and properties, I tend to like to declare these above my constructor. Currently, with what I have written, I have a class named car as well as a constructor for this class that accepts a model argument. I have two cars, car 1 and car 2. Car 1 is a Mustang, car 2 is a Corvette. So let's pretend that these cars are going to enter a race. I can create some static methods or properties of a car class. So the first, let's create a static property named number of cars. How many cars are going to be within this race? So we will use our static keyword and then the name of a variable or property. So let's say number of cars, and I will set this equal to 0 to begin with. Now, the nice thing with constructors is that this isn't necessarily limited to just assigning properties. You can do anything that you want within a constructor when you construct a car object. So let's write a bit of code to increment our number of cars by 1. But in order to change this property of the car class, we first need to list the name of the class car, kind of like the this keyword, except we're naming the class Car.numberOfCars, and we will increment this by 1. So after creating two car objects, number of cars should be 2 because we have two cars within this race now. So to display number of cars, we have to access it in a static way by listing the name of the class. So if I need to access number of cars, I would type Car.numberOfCars. And we have two cars within this race. Let's create a third car just to test it. So car 3 will be, let's say, a Challenger. Now I have 3 cars, so that's kind of the point. Now anything that is static is the property of the class itself and not any one object. If I type car1.numberOfCars, well then number of cars is going to be undefined. So this static property is more or less the property of the class itself than any one object. Same thing goes with methods. This time let's create a method. So static, what about beginRace? Begin race. And we will display something. Console.log. The race has begun. Okay, so then to begin our race, car, the name of the class, dot begin race. The race has begun. So none of these objects can begin the race because it's a static method. So car 1 can't begin the race on his own terms. We'll run into a type error. Car1.beginRace is not a function. So in order to access or use a static property or method, we first need to list the name of the class in which this static property or method belongs to. Another good example of us using properties and methods would happen to be with anything related to the math class. So if we need to access pi, we would type math, the name of the class, .pi, and this is a static property of the math class. If we need to round a number, we would type math, the name of the class again, .round. So these are both static. This is a static property of math, and round is a static method. It wouldn't really make sense to create a math object like let math1 equal new math, right? If we need to access pi or the round method, we would just access this in a static way by typing the name of the class. So in conclusion, everybody, the static keyword can be applied to a method or property, and that method or property now belongs to the class itself, not any one object. Normally, objects created from this class do not have access to anything that is static. So if you would like a copy of this code, I will post this to the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and well, that is the static keyword in JavaScript.